So, hello everybody. Um, just start and then we'll see what will happen. So this is everything and this is all there is. This is only this and there's no before, there's no after, there's no time. There's no time, there's no distance. It's this. And this can be anything, a wall, a table. What we are talking about in this meeting is that there's no one. That not only there's no one inside the body, there's no individual. The body isn't real. So it's not, nothing is happening to someone. There's only, this is apparently happening. So a wall is walling, not for anyone, not that you see it. It's only walling. So that means, if I say it about Roes or something, there's no Roes. There's no one existing. We assume that everyone is an individual and living in his body, her body, living her of his life. There's only life. There's no personal life. There's only what is apparently happening. It's also apparent. That's even more crazy, that nothing is real and solid. We are so into the story and everything is real. My body is real. The streets are real. My life is real. It's happening to me, circumstances. I have to make my life work. I have to earn money. And then there's hearing, it's only an appearance. Nothing is real and solid. It's energy. It's going and there's walling and a face, sound. And it's not happening to someone. That's crazy because that's what we normally assume, that there's somewhere there's something going on, and maybe there's looking for no problems anymore, because that's what normally fuels the search, that there's a problem and there's continuously something going on, what doesn't feel right, you're not satisfied enough, or there's something missing somewhere. It feels like I'm not good enough, or there's something not right yet. So there's a search for something else. And sometimes it's in the mind, making with thoughts, it seems like going on and trying to work out what's going on and find out how life is working. If there's maybe there isn't a me, how can I understand what's going on? That's a huge tool of me trying to find out and to know. And it can be being very clear about maybe also this message about there's no me and nothing is real. Maybe there's no time and distance. Also already in science that is already searched for that. There's no time. The time isn't real. But it can be an insight or clarity, but that's not really what we're talking about. When there's saying there's only one, then there's nothing seen. It's not seen by awareness or something like that, because that's still too. And it can be so subtle and so convincing. But that whole idea of Roes and and also other individuals is completely lost. There's nothing going on there. So, and in the same time, it's no big deal. But when there's me and I'm here in my life and I'm looking for something and trying to find out, there's so much identification with that personal life and how you deal with other persons, and people are important and everything seems, some things are really important, some less important, because it's about surviving in time with relations, because when you're here, then there are also other people going on, and there seems to be important, or there can be something going on you don't like or you really like, something like that. And then there's this message, it's not about you. Life doesn't see you. There's nothing going on about you. That's what we can abstract, and we can assume that there's someone inside and there's a free will and choice. It's a dream. It's a dream. That's amazing. When there's a dream, that means that all that free will and choice is not real. It's an illusion. There's no free will and choice. There's only what is happening. It's not even saying that to yourself, like, oh, it's just what's happening, because that's already a subtle dealing with everything what goes on. It can happen, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with anything. But it's saying it's still me trying to deal with what seems to be happening to her, to you. There's no one. There's no one. There never has been someone. And that's also something that it's like the dream, when that dream is just not coming back. It's more like that. It's just not coming like that. And then suddenly it's like, oh, there was already no one. There was already no one. And nothing is, there's no continuation. So that body is also not always there. There can be a part like your face, seeing that face, or a sound, hearing. But that's everything. So it's not the real body, it's also always walking around, something like that. We fill in the gaps. So it was always like that. Oh my God, my telephone's ringing. there can be also, there's all one, there's so hard sound. What one of them? Okay. So then I don't know where I was. I just completely forgot what I was saying. Oh God. It's about time, something about time. No, I don't know. I don't remember. Maybe you do, and you can ask questions later on.
How there's no continuity, which is perfect.
There's no continuity. Yeah, nothing continues. That's when you say there's no time. That's so much, because it's not only no tomorrow and no yesterday and all that. When there's no continuation, where are you? Because that assumes when you are here in your life that something continues. So that's a threat for that identification with I am here and I'm living my life. We can talk about that. We can talk about anything. This is so normal. There's nothing going on like seeing things in a certain way or more special colors or things like that. It's so normal. I can even imagine that when there's someone who's that something going on, that there's suddenly that whole story and the whole dream is not working, it's not coming back, it's not coming, then it's even not noticed because the awareness isn't there, so it's not noticed, and it's so normal. So it's not special at all. And subtly, when there's me going on and in this search, and maybe in this kind of meetings or in spiritual things, there's looking for something special, for something to have a better life, maybe, or something going on that it feels better or more free, more freedom, something like that. Has nothing to do with that. There's already freedom. When there's tension, that doesn't. It's not that there's no tension arising or irritation or all that. That's the freedom. It's tensioning. Life is tensioning. How can you say that? It's that. So it's everything. That's the freedom. And there's no escape when there's nothing going on like I'm here. So there's no escape because it's full on. Everything is full on. But it's not happening to someone. So what? And that was already, that's what I'm saying. It was already like that. It is already like that. So there's no change in anything on circumstances or whatever. It was already like this. There was a dream about, no, it's I am here in this life and I have to responsibility and I have to do my things and It's really important that I do this or that, take care of my body and earn money. And then hearing, oh, it's a dream. Life is already happening by itself. There's there's no need for anyone in between. It's 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 amazing that we assume that we are important and we choose and we do and all that. There's no one doing anything. There's no one choosing. It's already like that. So that choosing and it's not important at all. Doesn't have any power. It's thoughts are thoughts. It's just that. They don't do anything or have a power to change or all that. We believe that. It's life changing, it's energetic. And it's not seeing anyone, it's just energetic. Wall, table, feeling, sound. It's that. It's going nowhere. That's the joy also. There are no relations, not me and circumstances or me and other persons. There are no individuals. So there are also no relations with anything. When there's irritation, it's irritation. It's already like that. It's already complete. There's no need to understand this. There's no need to change anything. There's no need to listen. It's already what is going on. The face is looking, that sound. Life is complete. It doesn't need anything. And we can talk about everything. We can talk about everything in the story. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean you have to talk in a non-dual way or something like that. I don't see a non-dual way, that there isn't one. It's just normal talking about what you do with your friends. And when there's questions, you can say your questions. Or maybe there's a sharing. That's also nice. Or there's just listening. Can be anything, falling asleep. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing right. And there's nothing wrong. Because that when there's me and I'm here and I'm living my life in my story and this is the right way because that feels good and this is wrong because I don't feel good or I don't think that is right and all that. That's part of the story. It's a dream. There is no right and wrong. There's what is happening. Sound, pain, table, street, hand. It's that. That's everything already. So if you want to say something or maybe share or whatever, what you think, or maybe you write something in this chat and we'll see what happens. Mm. Oh, then there's someone say almost the whole day feeling of sadness. There can be sadness. Nothing is the whole day. There's no continuation. There can be sadness and then maybe nothing and then there's crying and then sometimes there's crying, sometimes there's a bit maybe sad. Yeah, can be. Can be. There's no reason. We think there's a reason for something, for everything. That's part of the dream of me. There's no reason. We try to find out so we can stop it because we don't like some feelings and we think like, oh, how can we get rid of it? There can be sadness. It's a sensation somewhere. It's not even in the body. That's also very obvious. We always think that when the body is real, it feels, and it's very obvious then it feels like it's in the body. When there's hearing, there's nothing is real and solid. Also, feelings are not happening inside. There's no inside. It's feelings can happen. Yeah, can happen. And when that's, it feels like it's in the body. Of course, when we're so long already that it's convinced that the body is real, it's my body, or maybe it's not mine, but it's the body, and then the feelings are felt inside. That's the belief that most people have. And suddenly, the strange thing is, when suddenly it's seen like the body isn't real, then oh, there can be a thing, but it doesn't matter. If you feel like it's in the body, then it's felt in the body. Yeah. So what? Doesn't matter. But it's fun or strange to hear that it's not really in the body. So it's not yours. That's the other way of seeing it. Because we assume that when it's in the body, it's subtly also feeling it's mine then. And when there's hearing that it's not even in the body, it's somewhere in space, then it's not even mine. There can be sadness, but there's sadness and flies and tables and anything. And nothing has a meaning. So it's there. Yeah, can be. Mm. That's something. This is not going anywhere because there's no before, after, and it's not really happening. Um, yeah, there's no time. So it can't go somewhere. It's not. There's also no distance. That's sometimes that's a more difficult one, or maybe I don't know. Well, that's no distance. So we assume that there's here and there. We can abstract everything. So it's here and over there and now and inside and outside. It's when that what I like with really little children, like 2 years or something. They don't understand over there. And then you say, yeah, but it's there on that wall. And they're looking like, what do you mean? It's like, so it's about abstracting. The brain is able to abstract everything. It's this. There's no distance. It's crazy. So there's no anywhere. Nothing is going anywhere. But it's also, it is. Life is. It's a phase. It's like we assume living in time is I'm going to my work and I'm all that. And there's the whole story in time and space or distance space. So that there's for to be a story, there needs to be continuation and time and distance and all that. Without that, there's no story. So no me, no story. Can't be. It's apparently happening. It's not saying there's nothing happening, but it's an appearance. So there can be pain and sadness and streets. Mm. Mm. Right. Okay, now it can be a shock that nothing has anything to do with me. Even the personal story, whatever happening, has nothing to do with a me. Yeah, can be really a shock because that's what most of the time it's not even questioned. And then hearing there's no me, it's not happening to you, it's only what's apparently is happening, and there's no story in that. So it's a table, it's hand, it's a tree, and we make it into a story. This happened to me, and because of that, a lot of because and why and consequences and responsibility and need and all that. A lot of things that are abstract, like I need this and all that. So there's a story about what should be happening and all that. It's very literally saying, this is it. This, how can you say this? A hand, lamp, a wall, sound. And nothing has any meaning. That's also part of the story, because it's only when there's an abstract mind that can abstract and think like that, like human. They give meaning to everything, but it's a construct meaning. There's no meaning in life. It's what it is. There's nothing to do with you. There is no you inside in that body. That body isn't even real, so there's no inside. There's no one doing anything. It's that what we always think. And then when there seems to be doing, there has to be doing the right thing, or maybe you can do something wrong. And that's also one of the things of being me and having my life, and how does that go and how can I live my life. There's subtly something going on, like not being satisfied, or there's something missing or not right, or I'm not good enough. That's also a strong one. And that's trying to make it right all the time, or being busy with that and feeling like, oh, that's again confirmed by someone that I'm not good enough, and all that is going. It's a misunderstanding. There's nothing right or wrong. Can't be. It's complete. It's what it is. That's everything. But when there's I am here in my life, so then that can be, and it's coloring everything. So it can be very strong and or maybe more subtle. Somebody saying life feels full on and no escape from anything, like right in the face, a wonder from nothing. Yes, it is. It's a wonder. It's wow, what is going on? There's so it's amazing. It's full on, but in everything. So doesn't mean it's strong. It can be subtle and it's everything. So you can't miss it. It's already. Doesn't mean also that you think like, oh, it's a wonder, it's wonderful, because that's more the spiritual side. It's not wonderful, it's what it is. And it can be wondering like, oh, but it doesn't mean always it's nice. It can be also oh, like that, or anything like that. It's everything. It's not about nice. This is not going to something or trying to find out how we can be happy or things like that. There's not life is everything. That's the freedom. There can be pain and feelings. It's not happening to someone, so there's also no reason for that. Like the table and the wall. There's no difference in that. It's in importance, I mean. Nothing is more important than anything else. There's a question. Do you still get shockingly wondering how life is going on, or it just is normal? Most of the time, there's nothing going on about that. There can be suddenly a moment. I mean, like, oh my God, this is amazing. How sometimes I have something like, everybody's looking different. That's amazing. It's just everybody's different. That's so unique. Suddenly can be like that. Oh wow. And then that's gone, and then just sitting in the public transport. Just that. Mm. Yeah. It's very normal. There's a question. Are all appearances just sensations in empty space? Whoa. It's not an appearance is not always a sensation. It's a walling. It's just what I call a sensation is more feelings or a sensation that seems to be in the body, but there are sensations and feelings and emotions and sounds and smell. Certain. Oh my God, that. And I wouldn't say it's happening in space because that seems like subtly too, like and there's space and there's happening something inside. That wall is walling and that's everything. It's energy. You can't even imagine. I can't explain how I see that or how it's felt. It's only that. It's not in space. No. It's wall. There's walling. That's everything. Or a sound. That sound is that's everything. Not happening to someone or in something. It's sound. That's everything, full on as it is. It's one. Everything is singular. That's also crazy because we are so used to that everything happens in two, like it happens in space or it happens to me or all that. And when it's singular, you can't even imagine because we're not the brain or we're not used to that. So saying there's only walling or sound, that's everything, not happening in or at or anything. It's sounding. That's it. Wall, walling, tabling, pain. Yeah. So that whole idea about Roes or somebody else is completely out of the window. There's only wall, for example. There's no awareness, or it's happening in awareness, all that. It's all that subtle is too. It's happening in something. No, it's walling. That's it. Pain. Full on. Not seeing it or feeling it. No. That's what we assume, that it's because we think it's happening to us or to the body or to in awareness or something like that. It's one. Oh. Mm. Ah. Somebody's saying, I feel this now is so obvious that life is just flowing from nowhere, but it's fascinating how life felt so seriously and real before, yeah? I know this is just a story, but did you also have the sense of losing a sense of solidity and seriousness? Mm, I can't, no, I don't think I had, because it was so normal. It was so normal. It wasn't, and I think there's also something going on like a deepening. I think when that whole dream didn't arise anymore, those thoughts and about thinking about myself and all that, then it wasn't that obvious that everything is an appearance and there's really the body isn't real and nothing is real and nothing is solid, that it's even stronger than before. So in that sense, you could say in the story, there's a deepening. Yeah. It was already like that. That was the amazing thing, that everything is an appearance and nothing is real and the body isn't real and all that. And there's already no one. It was already like it, but I was, or most people, I was thinking, oh, I'm living in my body and I have a free will and choice and I have to make my life work and deal with my emotions because there are a lot of things that are not right yet, and how do I earn enough money, and what is going on with relations I have with people and all that. It wasn't, it was just in a second, it was like, oh my God, I did think I had a whole life and I had to deal with all that. It was a dream. Life did go, regardless, everything I did think and did choose, I think, and all that. Just go like that. There's nothing to do with what I was thinking and choosing and all that. It just was not important at all. Wow. It doesn't say it's wrong. It's just what's happening. It doesn't matter. It has no meaning and importance at all. Oh, yeah. when somebody's saying deepening has to do with time, yeah, that's sometimes I'm talking in a story when there's people when there's trying to say what's going on. Of course, there's no deepening. There's only what's happening. But sometimes there's talking in a story too, and then there's time. Of course, yeah. So seeing is not happening with the eyes. What is seeing? Seeing the same as what is seeing. Seeing it. I think even science says we're not the eyes are only holes and there's something else going on with seeing. I'm not sure how that all is going, but it's no, seeing has nothing to do with the body. That's strange. Yeah, it's a wall. It's not even I'm seeing the wall. It's wall. It's walling. It's and it doesn't matter if there can be someone who's blind, of course, and then there's other sensations and smell and that. So it's there's always something what is apparently happening. Something. Do you like dancing? Sometimes. Sometimes. There's no rose. So sometimes dancing is happening and I can be liking it. Can be. Doesn't matter. Somebody's saying, Rose. Does it mean you don't feel the distance or separation between Rose and the thing that appears? There's the brain is still working, and then there's seeing the table over there and walking to that table, or all that in the story, it's just going on. But in the same time, it's obvious that there's no distance also. How can I say that? Yeah. But there's no Rose. That's more what I'm talking about. It seems like there's Rose and she's looking at the table. That's in the story. It still goes on and then everything is going on and that. But in the same time, it's very obvious that there's no Rose. So there's only what is happening. I can't even say how that is. I can't say how that is. That's impossible. But hearing there's no distance, that sounds crazy because we sound, and time. So that makes the story distance also. Then you go from here to there. You're not going anywhere. There's no one. There's only what apparently is happening. Oh. No roast. Oh wait. Wait, it's going. No roast to make distinctions. No. Everything is just going. It has nothing to do with Rose or with somebody else. We assume that it's because of I am seeing that, I'm feeling that, or how everything in the story. It's a made up. It's a dream. That's a lot of questions. How can I say it so quickly? Is there still a point of view? No. There's no point of view. No. There's what's happening, but there's no Rose. So it's not happening to me, or I'm not seeing the wall. In the story, that's the crazy thing of this. That's also the normal thing of this. It's just in the story, everything is still going on and saying, hey, do you pick that on the table over there? And all that is going on. Well, that's what already is happening. It doesn't mean that there's distance. It's crazy, this. Right. Since there's no since there's no story, there's no character. Is it just random characteristics appearing from nowhere? Yeah, because there's no continuation. So in the story, there can be characteristics and all that. Well, we assume that there's continuation, and then there's something happening before, and now there's happening, and we assume that it's from Roes. We still, the story still goes on. That's the crazy, and in the same time, there's no story. That's the freedom, because there's nothing important. That it's like the story, but it's no big deal. And yeah, how do you say that? It's like, how can you say this? The Rose is there. There's that face or glass of tea, and that's everything. But it's going so quickly, so you can't say like this. We assume it's happening that Rose, that whole body, is always there. No, it's seeing part of it. There's also no inside. We assume that it's only that phase. That's everything. We assume there's a lot of things going on inside because we know from science or reading a book of things like that. There's something happening. That's all a construct. This is everything. There's no outside. Also, where's the outside? It's this. It's completely literally what is happening. What I'm talking about. Assuming that there's an outside. I don't know. No, it's this. That's everything. There's this, the floor. That's everything. You can't even imagine. This is saying something about it, but you can't imagine how that's going because we're so in time and distance and thinking in that. We're used to that. So this is completely out of the story. Mm. Could you say that life? Oh, wait, it goes away. Could you say that life is total emptiness flowing in a way that's not graspable? It's empty, but it's also full. It's both, apparently. That's the story. There can be story and floors and tables and bodies. And there's nothing happening. Oh, this is so completely out of the story. It's amazing that somebody will listen to this because it's so completely out of the normal way of thinking, that nothing is real, that the body isn't even real. That's even more amazing because that seems like when I am here, the body has to be there because otherwise, how can I be there? Yeah, that's a good question because you are not. There's no one, and that thinking that seems to be my thinking. It's only that's what's happening. Has nothing to do with that there's a me. That's a construct. But it's so convincing and it's so embodied, that belief that I'm here and this is solid and I'm living in time and consequences and all that. Distance, going anywhere. And then hearing there's no distance. It's crazy. And sometimes it's suddenly like, oh, that's what she means. And then it's gone again, maybe. Doesn't matter. If it's not seen like that, yeah, it doesn't matter. It's not that, oh, I don't see that, so I'm not ready yet, or something like that. It doesn't matter. It's just hearing that, and that's it. Or not hearing, maybe, can be. Doesn't matter. Nothing matters because it's already complete. It doesn't matter. There can be hearing things about what's going on. There can be some concepts. Maybe there are some concepts falling away and it's not even noticed or not. I don't know. There's nothing, how do you say, a meaning in this meeting also. There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go. That's freedom. It's already complete.
Hi, Rose. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hi.
That's good. Because I'm outside, so it's not really, maybe there's some noises.
Okay.
Uh, yeah. There seems to be like less and less and less control. I mean, this is how I experience that. And like things not really going anywhere specific.
Mm.
And I have a question about like the inside and the outside. Like if I have to describe that, it feels for me like um, because there is no escape anymore. I'm like everything is like exactly like what I say and hear, and it's just like there is no. It just comes out really very direct. So it feels like the inside and outside is like very direct. Is it the right way to say it? Like it's very difficult to explain it. Like because it cannot be anything else. Like all that I say, all that I express, there is no more like how to say that. There is no mask. There is no
Mm.
trying to hide. There is no more anymore like trying to pretend in a way.
Yeah.
So it feels like it's more direct with the outside, and therefore no inside and outside. Is it the same what you're talking about?
Well,
It's not
when there's there,
not
how
easy for
can
me
there
to
be
explain
an
it.
there's no inside
Right,
because that's assuming that there's distance and there's here the mouth
right.
and here inside
Yes,
there's somewhere else or behind is
yeah,
this. There's no
yeah,
behind also. That's
right.
how we can abstract and believe that there's something going on back in the back of us or something like that. It's a construct more, but you can talk about that. It doesn't mean you cannot say anymore like behind or something like that. But they're saying there's no behind also.
Yeah, but it's not
And
like
what
it's
also happens when there's me going on, it's busy. It's being busy with what's going on. That's me. Me is looking at just itself or like the body or what's going on, and comparing it met before and something what's going on. It doesn't matter if there's a lot of speaking or not speaking or whatever is said. It doesn't matter. It's what's happening. So
so when you're speaking or not speaking is the same for
yeah,
you,
of course. Yeah, yeah. Or there's some people say, are there still patterns? I don't know. I'm not busy with looking at myself and seeing if I'm doing that the same as before. No,
right.
something like that. That's lost. That looking at yourself and being busy. Yeah, I don't know. Something noticing what's going on. That's me because there's something going on. This is better than that. I'm not doing that anymore. Things like that
Yeah,
because it's it's everything. It can't be wrong. It's everything what's going on. It was already like that. And we are so into that thing that there's something going on and that now it's much more free and all that. It was already. It
not
is
like that.
already.
No.
It can't be better or something like that because it's already complete.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
understand. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Thank you.
Oh. Yeah. There's somebody saying, I understand there's no me, but thoughts seem still to have an energetic grip over life. Could you say something like that? An energetic grip over life. I don't know what that is. There can be thoughts and being busy. Maybe that's what you mean. I don't know. That they're thinking and their thoughts, and it's about what's going on, and I still have that. Oh no, that's going better now. It feels much more free now, and all that. That's part of me. It's amazing, but that's me. Is that whole construct, you could say, in the story? It's very clever. It's a survival system, so it's going on and trying to adapt. This is also a little story, but it's like that, and then it's suddenly going on like, yeah, there's so much more freedom. But it can't be more. It is freedom. There is only freedom. It can't be more than before. There's no before, so it's already that. It doesn't matter what it is, and there's no one that there's no individual in a body and moving around. That's the construct. It's so embodied that there's a life of that person or all that. No, there's speaking, there's sound. Yeah, there's sound. Yeah, it's neutral. Has nothing to do with that person or with you or only that. It's only that speaking, and that's perfect. It's like what it is. This is not better or worse or freer or all that. That's part of the dream. It's what it is. That's everything. It can be so subtle going on in things like that, because that dream is always about there's something not right yet in a subtle way, and really it's getting into that again, because that's so embodied. That's the energetic thing where we're talking about. There can be a lot of concepts and beliefs falling away, but that's a really strong one. Mm. Oh, right. Wait, a lot of. Could you say that past conditioning is former a kind of character? There can be conditioning in the story from the past, or maybe. I don't know. Yeah, can be. It's so embodied that there can be conditioning. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It's, yeah, there can be, but there's no one busy with that, so there's no. When there's that awareness and looking at yourself, then there's always something going on, like, there's still that conditioning. Oh, maybe I could, that. When that awareness is gone, because when me and awareness are together, and there's nothing looking at myself or what's going on. Or when you have done something, you look back and how did I do it and what was going on. That doesn't happen, so I don't know what I did. So can be conditioning. Maybe other people see that. I don't know. I don't care. There was something else. Kind of like no choice. It's strange that there aren't alternatives at all. I could have tea instead of coffee. Yeah. There can be, in that sense, there can be preferences that, I don't know, from that. There can be preferences, yeah. But they are meaningless, but they can be there. Doesn't mean it has to happen, or can be, oh, no, do you want coffee or tea? Yeah, coffee, please. Yeah, so what? Yeah, can be. But there's no meaning in that. Can be. There's no importance also. That's more like, I will have my coffee without some milk and some this and that, because I have something going on with the body, and it is very important to take care of it and all that. That doesn't happen here. I don't know. It's just saying, but it's not about Rose. Don't think about how Rose is doing things, because there's no Rose. There can be drinking coffee, and that's has nothing to do with Rose or no Rose. It's just drinking coffee. Because then it seems like, oh, Rose is the ideal version of how I should be or something. Oh God, no. It has nothing to do with that. It's already perfect as it's going. So it's not really important how Rose is doing things. It's not important. No, not at all. It's already that what is happening, the way that the talking happened, everything is going on. It's complete as it is. And it's not someone who's doing that. It's life. There's no one in between. No. There can be seeing a part of that body, and then that's everything. And but believing that maybe that's there, the whole body is there, then that belief is on top of that, yeah. So then that belief is there too. Oh, not another question. Would the conditioning be new since there's no before? Well, there's all questions that me asks himself. There's no, what is conditioning? There's no conditioning. There's nothing going on about is there conditioning or not. I don't know. There's what's happening, and there's nothing busy with what's going on. There's no me, so there's no Rose. There's not only no me inside Rose or something like that. So it's getting better now because the me is lost. So Rose can do everything more freely. No, it was already like that. It was already free. Rose is completely unimportant. There can be some characteristics that, like in the story, that can be seen. Yeah, so what? It's like everybody else. There's no difference between this body and another one. It's only different, but this is not better or freer or all that. No. That's the misunderstanding. That there's a need for something to happen, maybe. No. That's the misunderstanding. It's already complete as it is. Hmm. Oh. Hmm. Oh God, another one. Have you stopped wondering what's going on, like trying to understand life in a way? There is no one. That's lost. I can't. No. It's like, it's all that. I can understand this. It's not, go on with the questions. I don't mean no, of course, I can understand the question, but there's no one. So that's not coming. It's just not coming because there's what, it's so difficult to see. And I can understand that too, of course, because we assume that there's a Rose with a body or a life of Rose or things like that. There is no life of Rose. It's face or a sensation or table or wall. It's only that. So being busy, there's nothing busy with anything. Or there can be thoughts. There can be thoughts and thinking, oh, what can I do? Oh, that was awful. Blah. All that can, and then something else is going on. It's very normal also, but nothing sticks. That's more, you could say. So there's that, what you say, there's wondering what's going on, and that awareness, that noticing, that looking at yourself, thinking about what's going on, that's part of me. So that's lost. So that's not there. It's not, and the strange thing is, when it's lost, it's not even noticed because it's very normal. Life is so normal. You don't need looking at yourself and being busy with everything what's going on. There's no need for that. It seems like really important to be busy with what's going on and how should I do that and all those thoughts about it. Can be, it's nothing wrong with that, but it doesn't go anywhere and it's no importance at all. Oh wow, that's amazing. God. Oh. And when it's going, then it's going. It doesn't matter. It's not wrong or something like that. It's just thoughts, can be. and something else. Wow. Is it like watching a movie without identifying with it? But it's not a movie because when I'm looking at a movie, there's some distance. It's not even in it. That's even not a right description. It's only walling, sound, smell. It's impossible. It's impossible to understand, but it's also impossible to describe. Hmm. You say awareness is lost, but the apparent brain is still functioning and seeing the family and stuff like that. Yeah, the brain is still working. Yeah. So there's no family, there's this, and then suddenly someone walks in and I see, oh, hi, Kalyani, that's the name of my daughter. Hi, Kalyani, hey, how are you? Something like that, or something else. Yeah, that's still working. So when they're friends, they don't know anything about this. No, no. Everything is more full on, you could say, in a way, in the story. So there's no fussing around by all those ideas and concepts and how it should be and all that. So it's more simple in a way. I love this. I like those questions. It's yeah. Somebody's saying it's funny because now I feel like 2 years old when I see a bird. It's as if the first time. Wow, yeah, it's a ah. Yeah, yeah, it's the first time. It's new. Yeah, Yeah. Mm.
Hi, Rose.
Hi. Hi.
Um, some time before you said something about the survival instinct of the me. How could there be something like a survival instinct when there's no me at all? That's a little bit strange because there's nothing there in the end, so there's nothing what could survive. Could you say something about it?
Yeah. It's strange because there's that it can be confusing. Then there's talking in the story, and there's talking there's no me and there never was me at all. So when there never was me, why should we talk about it? But when we're talking about the story, there seems to be it's more a describing of what I'm seeing that's going on. Like
Mm.
when there's me and I'm here and I have the feeling I'm here, and there's my life, and I want to feel good, and there's a lot of things going on. There's a certain fear to die. There's a fear of death, and a fear of go. I want to go on, because that when there's the threat of this meeting is that there's someone not existing. So there's a feeling of I'm here, and I have to confirm that I'm here, because somewhere, and that's more how I see it. There's something going on that somewhere there's there's some that there's a fear of nothing, and there's a constant confirming and trying to see that I'm living in time, and I'm still there, and how do I go, and oh, now it's going better, oh, it feels good now, and it's going better. So it's a continuation, because that's needs constant confirming. When that's like in these meetings, it's not that confirming is not going on, it falls apart, and that's so frightening. So in that sense, I'm saying like, oh, there's something going on. Like I want to continue. So that feels for me like surviving.
Yeah. That feels like to holding a ball in the air the whole time to oh
Yeah.
yeah I have
Yeah,
to
that's
keep
it.
on keep
Yeah,
on
that's yeah,
yeah
yeah,
that's a really fine energy somehow and oh yeah I have to make my life yeah to confirm that I'm alive that I have
yeah,
to control yeah okay
yeah,
well because I
yeah.
thought
And
okay
that's yeah, that
what
it's
happened
just
yeah
it's a feeling also.
yeah
It's not only in the head always, of course, but that's so it can be a feeling so like that. Yeah.
yeah and
Yeah.
even to try to watch it or try to find out what's going on or so it's all the same game more or less I
Yeah.
could find out or I could
Yeah.
go a little bit deeper or go inside or it's all the
Yeah.
same game okay
Yeah.
yeah
Yeah, and that's what I see, that it's so clever because it's for everybody, it's also different how it's going, and it's like, how is that possible? It's so clever. Then it's like finding out, and suddenly it's very clear, but still there's something going on. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because the only one who needs a clear view or something is me. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's immediately owned more or less. It's the same as you have a car or something. The thoughts you own, the thoughts you are the owner of everything.
Mm,
If it be a thought or if it be a thing or whatever. So
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, and it doesn't, and it's so clever because it's, you can talk yourself around it, and then it seems like, oh yeah, it's now it's so much more free, and then, but it's still that same story. But can be so convincing. Wow.
somehow it's really strange that it's going on because
Yeah.
on one side,
Mm,
it's clear that nothing could be owned. Since years, more or less, it's quite clear I could not own anything.
mm,
I mean, even a body, how you like to own a
yeah.
body, it's
Yeah.
impossible.
Yeah. Yeah.
'Cause when
Yeah.
things go, when cells go or come, you
Yeah.
have absolute no control about it.
Yeah.
That's absolutely obvious. You have
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
control about it. On
Hmm.
the other side, it's the story goes still on and on and on and on.
It's
Yeah,
crazy that it's so obvious and still it goes on. How is that possible? And still, if you see it, so look to other people also. When you, for other people, to other, when you look at other people, it's so clear. What are you thinking? But if it's going in your life, let's say, like your story, it's so convincing. Then it's how it, yeah, it's amazing how that works. Yeah,
it's even when you consider about I own a
yeah,
body or something.
yeah, yeah.
How is it possible?
How do you do that? Yeah. Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
who owns what?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
so clear. It's obvious, Melvin. You could not
Mm,
own anything.
mm,
Impossible.
mm.
You could not
And yet,
attach anything to nothing, more or less. So
yeah. 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 And yet that's not enough, or in that sense, like being very clear about that. And then there's something underneath that still goes on. Can
yeah,
be. Yeah.
that's strange.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, strange
That's,
game.
yeah, but that's that embodied, that's so, it's not even, you don't know anything like it's so in the it's also in the story, but it's so embodied, so that it's not here in your head that it's very clear. It's something underneath. So yeah, what's going on, those
Even
ideas or
the
concepts?
embodiment is completely impersonal.
Yeah.
There's nobody involved in this embodiment.
No,
Yeah,
it's, if you think about it, it can't be, but and still it is. Well, that's the same with belief. How can people believe there's a God? It's, how can you believe that? And
yeah,
still, God, it's so important and so normal. And
yeah,
there's so many things going on about the belief of somebody else, you could say, and think like, how can you, huh? And sometimes when some beliefs fall away, and you think, like, how could I ever believe that? How? It's so clear. And then before it was
yeah.
so obvious that you were right. Yeah. Strange how
And
that works.
yeah, nobody believes that. Nobody have a belief system. Yeah,
Yeah,
because when
yeah.
it's somehow it's so in daily
Mm,
life it's you to talk about it. And yeah, that's my belief, that's my opinions, and so on. And who
mm,
owns it?
mm.
This is just a story going on.
Yeah, that's true.
It feels so true and so real. Oh, that is my world that I'm living in, and this is right, and
Mm,
this is left, and this is up, and this is down.
mm, mm.
But in the end, there's no position at all.
Yeah,
Yeah. And there's also,
yeah.
somehow it's quite obvious because
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah,
that
yeah,
there's no position more or less.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Roes.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for saying. Wait, another. Oh my God. Oh, there's somebody saying, I don't know what's going on. It looks like I cannot listening this evening. Okay. You're like glowing star that's talking from a wonder and love. Thanks. Even though everything is meaningless, you bright it up a lot and it's truly energetic. Oh, God, thanks. Wow. Mm, mm. Eh. Rose, you can never imagine what your energy has bring to my apparent life. So I just wanted to say thank you for that. It's not me doing that. Mm. Mm. But thanks. But it's what's happening, really. It's nothing to do with Rose, but it seems like that. Yeah. Thanks. Oh. Rose, is it like timelessness, timing, spacelessness, spacing, both happening and not happening in the same time? Oh. Yeah, maybe you could say that like that. It's like there's a story going on, and then we say at 7 o'clock they're starting the meeting and all that. In that sense, it's time. It's an apparent time going on, but in the same time, of course, there is no time, and suddenly it's happening like that. So that's the craziness of this. That it seems like in the story going on, and we talk in the story, and we say, yeah, at 7 o'clock we start the meeting and all that, and then in the same time saying, no, there's no time. And how can it happen that in that exact time it's starting? That's the wonder. It's amazing how that's going on. So it's an appearance, and it's nothing is happening. That's a miracle. It's a wonder. It's like, ah, God, how is this even possible? Yeah. And it's a mystery when I'm here and I'm living my life, and what's life and how it's going on. It feels such a mystery, and I want to find out and all that. And then suddenly that whole me isn't there, and that whole awareness isn't there. And it's it's not a mystery. It's a wonder. It's like, it's amazing how and it's wondering, and not all the time like wow, but in a subtle way. It's such a wonder. And this is also not a knowing. Sometimes there are questions, and they're suddenly coming like, oh my God, I don't know the answer. And then they're starting talking, and then, oh, it's like that. So has nothing to do with knowing, of being clear or things like that. There's also that is a possession in a way. It's just not, it's just words coming. And it's already like that everywhere. This is unconditional love. Life is that. Everything is unconditional love already. There's nowhere to go. There's no need for anything else because everything what's going on is it. There can be like ideas of concepts maybe, then that's exactly what it is, a concept or those ideas, or that's complete as it is. There's nothing right or wrong. It's maybe thoughts like that, or a hand, or it's everything. That's the freedom, that there's nothing wrong or right with everything. That's the misunderstanding. It's unconditional love already. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing right or wrong. It's everything. Everything. And there's no need to go anywhere. There's no need to understand anything, because that's assuming that there's something wrong. But there's trying to understand, then that's trying to understand is unconditional love. Life is trying to understand. Yeah, that's perfect. That's complete as it is. So it can't be wrong. Even that idea that, yeah, but something is still not, that idea, that's life. That's unconditional love. It's already, so you can't miss it. It's the only thing there is. That's the freedom. That's the unconditional love. It's everything already. That's the completeness. Thank you.
Thank you, Rose.
Thank you. Hey, Susie.
Hey.
Thank you, Rose.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
Rose.
Thanks,
Bye.
John. Thank
Bye.
you.
Thanks.